Hey there! So today we have another review. This is a beer courtesy of Scott, Vintage Beer Enthusiast on Instagram, and this is the one and only Russian River Pliny the Younger. This is a beer that I've never had in my life. I've been doing this for almost a decade now, and this is the only beer on the Beer Advocate top 10 that I've never had. Got close on draft once, but I've never had a bottle, and what a treat. Thank you so much, Scott, for sending this one out. This is their famous, formerly draft-only West Coast triple IPA, 10.25%. And yeah, this was a release from winter 2005. So yeah, much older than my experience in craft beer. Similar of the years past: fresh hop aroma, pine, stone fruit, citrus, lychee, keep cold, 10.25%. Absolutely cannot wait. Let's go a bit more. Yeah, all right, let's get some head creation on that. There we go. Lovely, and looks a little bit syrupy. I can sort of see the carbonation moving on that. Probably a reasonably dry beer, but maybe have it just a little chilled. But very good looking beer. I mean, this beer comes in really nice, wonderful kind of light to medium gold color. Has a little bit of chill haze on that. Decent fluffy white head. Yeah, let's get it rolling. Yeah, let's warm it up here. Yeah, got a little bit cold. Have it like right at fridge temp. Could have given a few minutes, but... Oh yeah. I mean, that is straight out of the West Coast. It smells like a fruity bag of weed. There's just no two ways about it. It's Fruity Pebbles, and it's a bag of soil and marijuana. I mean, there's almost nothing else to describe it like. It's very, very dank. Like dirty weed, not even like, so it's got the fruitiness of like very pretty stuff, but I'm not very good about this, by the way. I'm not very experienced about, but all I can say is smell like a bag of weed. Like, you know, if you guys think I know, partake and know that stuff, I do not, but that's what it smells like. But it's got a nice tropical note to it. It's got a little bit of this kind of, yeah, they're right. Stone fruit, lychee, tropical, pineapple, like dried pineapple slices. Very soily, and then on the back end, there's that kind of cat pee thing, also really nice. Thiol heavy, really wonderful nose. Doesn't have too much of that kind of sweetness underneath. A little bit of honeyed sweetness. Smells great. Cheers. So first off, we'll say I do have this a little bit chilled, but I mean, the closest beer that I had to this would be something like Bell's Hops, you know, triple IPA, blah, blah, blah. Definitely in that vein. Definitely in that vein. This one for me just seems a little bit more characterful, but wow. Again, not far off. Like, just, you know, that's the most recent flavor memory I have, and then honestly, that's most likely the most relevant thing to this beer. There aren't many dry, like 9 to 10 ABV West Coast style hoppy beers that you're going to find out here in Florida. So up front, it has impression of big sweetness or big fruitiness. It's kind of like peachy note. It's peach rings. There's this like dried pineapple note, and then but it's just like a hair of impression. And then in general, this beer like dry as all hell and just bitters out. It's boozy in the middle. Despite its temperature, it is a boozy beer. And then it's just like where the nose was like all dank and all weed and some amount of cat pee. It's all like that kind of soily flavor in the middle. Just earthy and bitter and piney. With some of that candy fruit on the back end. A little bit of candy grapefruit. And then as you drink it more, there's that like bump of just like honeyed sweetness in the middle. Almost, yeah, some use amount of, I think they've pulled back on crystal malt, but there's impression of sweetness in the middle. It's quite nice to help out this beer because it does move on its way down, showing its alcohol pushing on its way down. Impressive thing about this beer is that it's just so dry. I will say the most like impressive beers that I've had similar to this would be the Boneyard beers, all the way out in the Pacific Northwest. And remember, I forget which beer, but anyway, the really big one that's like 9-10%. That beer I had a side by side with Pliny the Elder on draft, and I thought that beer crushed Pliny the Elder. This beer, wow. What can I say? I mean, the most important thing I need to tell you guys is this worth the hype? It's so hard to get. You had to like go log in online and it's sold out in minutes. Otherwise, you're waiting online on draft for this thing. Like, drink Blind Pig, drink Pliny the Elder. Like those beers, I would easily prefer over this. One noticeable thing for me, at least, is that this beer is hot. It's big. Like it's, in general, I don't find happy beers need to be over 10%, and this one shows it. I think the New England IPAs can work in that with the double IPAs and the triple IPAs because they have the residual sweetness. This beer is just so dry, and then after that dryness, it just like, boom, alcohol on the way down. Drinkability, stupid silly on this one. Like, what the hell? It has none of that kind of crystal malt thing that I generally get from West Coast beers. The nose is quite nice. Honestly, I wish it was a little bit more tropical, or like, I wish it wasn't. I mean, that's my palate, and I have a New England palate. I don't have like the kind of classic West Coast thing, but it's got a great nose. That complexity of stone fruit, tropical with that kind of West Coast weed dank thing, like that's very delicious, and I do like the West Coast flavors. Honestly, I do wish it was a little bit fatter in the middle. Like right before that mid palate, I wish there was just a little that kind of stickiness and that kind of showing of like sweetness. And I don't know if you do that with just malt selection or residual sweetness, but then the dryness on this beer is impeccable, and it comes with some of that booze on the back end. So, I mean, it has pluses and minuses. And again, is it worth it? Yeah. Again, it's great, but is it worth it? No. I mean, I think you're getting a decent amount of the way here with something like Bell's Hopstein. Like you're with some of the stone beers like Ruination and Enjoy By, like you're getting close to that, and it's not a top 10 best beer ever, according to Beer Advocate at least. But is it different from those? Absolutely. And is it very tasty? Yeah. Is it exceptional? Yeah, but I mean, hey, if you think that 10% West Coast style, complex aromatics, nice and West Coasty, dry, piney, and then boozy on the back end, and then just like such high amounts of drinkability without that malt profile. Like some of these West Coast beers do have that kind of fatness in the middle. If you don't want any of that, if you want a lean 10% West Coast dank bomb that's not overly bitter, boozy and dry on the back end, you're gonna love it. Like that's exactly what this beer sells. For me, that's not like, that's not enough for me. Like I want more to really make this worth it. Very tasty, very delicious, but and it's super drinkable. Drinkability is high, so I have to give a lot of points to it. But is it worth it? No. But rating, again, this is where I'm contemplating. Again, I've listed some beers that I think are right on this level. The drinkability does push this one up just a little bit more, because that's insane how the construction of this beer is very well done. I wouldn't honestly even go out of my way to seek it out. But the drinkability is ridiculous. Like it's almost like water on the back end. It's got that like beautiful kind of like well-constricted lager thing where it just like washes away and it's like boom. It's crazy how drinkable this is. But there are little tweaks that I would like, but it also doesn't need to be 10%. Honestly, I'd probably prefer a bottle of Blind Pig or Elder right now. $94. Pliny the Younger. Absolutely delicious, I'm not going to, go too crazy, too unhyped with it. I think it's absolutely delicious. I think you're for sure not going to find anything remotely this drinkable for a 10% West Coast style IPA, but that's absolutely, crazy. And thank you so much, Scott. Just sitting here enjoying it. Finally got to enjoy the beer that I've been chasing for so long. Yeah, it's tasty. It's very tasty. That's best, because 94 is a very good rating. It's an amazing rating, but it is what it is. And yeah, post comments below about what you think. But again, I think if you're seeking for something that's relevant, you know, you can find some stone beers, you can find some Bell's Hopsheim, you can find some other beers that are just as relevant, that have honestly the similar characteristics. But the crazy thing that makes this beer so exceptional is that it's great aromatics, and then the drinkability on this beer. It's almost like a triple pale lager or something. Yeah. If you call this a triple pale lager and you sold this to me, I'd be like, yeah, that's why it's so dry and crisp on the back end. It just has this like execution on the back end. So wow, how did they do that? It's just like absolutely crazy. So that's a 94 for me. Until next time, guys, cheers. Post in the comments below if you've ever had this beer. Thank you so much, Scott. What a gem. And after all these years, I finally got to tick the top 10 beers on Beer Advocate and tick this little guy that just like always escaped me. Thank you so much. Cheers. Later.